Hiya, today I'm going to show you how to make a candy wrapper bag. So to start off with, I have a video actually telling you the basics of how to fold these wrappers, otherwise it will get very boring, me showing it in every candy wrapper video. So once you've got these wrappers, as you can see here I'm actually using pages from my catalogue because I don't have enough wrappers at the moment, but I still want to show you how to make it. So to start off, we're going to link the wrappers together. So we're going to take one of the little arms of the wrapper, I don't know how to actually explain them, and slip it inside the hoops of the other wrapper. That probably didn't make sense if you haven't made one of these before, but like I say, go back to my other video, which I'll put a link at the end of the next video, and you'll see it. And we're basically just going to link these together. We're going to make a straight zigzag. Okay, that sounds a bit Irish. Going to make a zigzag, a straight one. Using these, basically you just keep linking them up. So you put the arms through the holes one way, and then grab another one and slide it through the other way. This is a very time-consuming craft, and you may not get it perfect first time, but the more you do it, the more you'll get good at it. Okay, so I'm adding 13, I think it was, to this. Now, what I'm making is this. This is going to be the side of the bag. So I'm going to need to turn a corner, and to do that, I'm just going to go in the opposite direction to what I was if I was making a straight line. So I want to come down this way. So I'll thread it through the same holes as I was going to if I was going to do a straight line, but I'm going in the opposite direction, and this will create the corner. Okay, so now we're going to go sideways, so I'm going to go up this way. So I'm going to grab another one and thread it through this way. It's going to get a bit fiddly because it's right next to the other candy wrapper. By the way, if you're going to use magazine pages, you need to cover it in tape or something to make it waterproof, because this would not make a very good bag to actually use if you didn't. Okay, now you can carry on doing a zigzag if you want it a wider bag, but I don't want mine like really thick. Like I say, this is going to be the side of the bag, so I don't want it too wide. So I'm going to make another corner straight away to go straight back down. So if you wanted your bag wider, carry on a zigzag across this side, and then make a corner a bit later, depending on how thick you want the bag. Then just carry on making sure this ends up in a rectangle. So it goes straight down again, make a line down that side, and to connect it to the first one, obviously you'll have to turn another corner once you get down to the bottom. Okay, so once you get to the last one, you're going to want to link these together. Now this bit's really fiddly as well. So you're just going to pull these little arms out, and we're basically going to thread them through the middle part of this one. So you're going to feed them both through there, that hole there, the middle one, and then you're going to pop them back into these little folds here. Now the first one tends to go in quite easily once you actually find the right hole to go through. But the second one, that is a lot more fiddly, and you may need to use some tweezers or something to actually grab it and actually push it into the folds that needs to go in there. So you just feed that one through, and I think I put that through the wrong hole at that point. So I had to pull it back out. I'm going to put it through the very middle of it. So you just find it, pop it through, pull it down to where the fold is, and then you're going to pop this bit back underneath the other candy wrapper. You can do the same with this one. Again, it's just going to be a lot more tricky. The more you do it though, like I say, the more you'll get used to it. Because this was only magazine paper, it was very floppy, whereas this foil's going to use candy wrappers. It'd be a bit more sturdy and you can actually feed it through better. So for this I just pulled it down and then I tucked it in afterwards. If you want to cheat, you can just pull it down to where it is there. You just pop a bit of glue inside there to keep it in place if you didn't want to tuck it in, because it can be a bit stiff. Okay, so now we have to fill in these little holes, and to do that you want to take another candy wrapper that's already folded, and we're just going to chop this in half. And then we're going to open it up and just fold the edges inside again. This just make like a smaller candy wrapper thingy. So you want to do this to both sides, so you got, once you fold it over they make like squares rather than like rectangles. So make sure they fold over nicely, and do it with the same with the other one. And we're just going to feed these into each other like you were going to link the other chains, except because they're the same size it just makes a little square. And there you have it, and you want to make one of these for each of the holes. Okay, so now we've got to sew it all together. So you want to get some thread. I'm just using this kind of stuff with a chunky needle. This is what you use for like cross stitching and making friendship bracelets. So to start off, I'm just going to attach the thread with one of the squares. So I'm just going to go through, I'm not poking any holes here, I'm just literally going through the folds of the candy wrappers. You don't need to poke any holes, just use the folds. So I'm just going to tie a knot so the thread doesn't come out. And basically you just have to play it by eye. You just have to attach the squares to the other bit any way you can. You just got to find a fold, put the needle through it, and make sure it stays together. So for this one I'm going to start by going up this one, and you want to make sure that corner doesn't open up as well, so you want to connect those candy wrappers where you can see the slit where they're not actually folded together on the corner. So you want to go down there, and then you want to go over the same spot sometimes, like to loop around, just so it stays together. There's no easy way of doing this, there's no quick way. You literally have to just go over the same spot a few times through any fold you can to attach the squares to each other. And depending on how you fold and what way you're folding them, you might have to sew it slightly different. But when you've got it in front of you, you'll be able to see the fold you can actually sew together and where you can thread your needle. You just want to put it nice and tight so there's no gaps in the bag. Like I say, just make sure you've sewn up any gap there is, and you just attach each of those little squares. So I know I didn't say in the beginning, but I used the large template from the basics video. Can't remember the size of it off the top of my head, but that's the one I used. And this really does take forever, so I'll skip this in a minute because it doesn't get any better. You just see me going over the same thing again and again. Once you've done, you can hide that end bit of string just under one of the folds. So once you've done all those, just literally tie a knot in it and then hide the thread in one of the folds, and this is what you end up with. And then you're going to need to do that again because you need two, because these are going to be the size of the bag. Next part is we're going to make the main part of the bag, and that'll be in part 2. Thanks for watching. Bye!